I want to come at this in a very nurturing type of way. I have taken a couple weeks of this topic, and one of the things that really brought it up for me and really hit the head on the nail, or that hit the nail on the hammer, or whatever it's called, was that video that I did on being a trafficking survivor and what I learned about men and loneliness and more. Many people have tried to say some things like, you are must have Stockholm syndrome or whatever it might be. And no, it's not called Stockholm syndrome. It's called transformative forgiveness. And what I want to offer to people today is, if you have forgiven somebody that people think is crazy, I want you to comment about it and tell me about it and talk to people about it. If you are struggling to forgive somebody right now, um, talk about it. Forgiveness is a very hard and deep, deep thing to carry. And I understand. It took me years to get to the place that I am in. There are things that recently have happened, that I have had to forgive somebody, and I don't even know who they are. I will get into that later. But I want to kind of start this talk because we don't talk about it enough, and because it's really uncomfortable, because for the most part it's heavy, and people like to hold on to anger. People like to be angry and mad. It forces us to look at ourselves and the parts that we'd rather ignore. But today we're going to go there, right? We're going to talk about forgiveness, and it's not the pretty kind. It's not the kind that comes easy. We're talking about transformative forgiveness, the kind that doesn't make sense to the world, the kind that really, really, it's dark, the kind that changes everything, your whole worldview. Right now, so many people are carrying pain that's been sitting in their bones and in their soul and on their heart for years. Some of us are still living inside of a moment that ended so long ago. And if we don't talk about this, we stay stuck. We stay angry, and we stay at war with ourselves and with each other. Transformative forgiveness is the kind that changes you completely. It's not a pretty kind. It's like your mind, but your body, your breath, and your soul. It's the kind of forgiveness that breaks chains you didn't even know you were wearing. It transforms grief into growth, rage into clarity, and trauma into truth. It's not a moment, it's a becoming. It's the day you choose. When the day you choose it, your life doesn't just continue, it turns into something new. That's why it's called transformative, because it doesn't just release someone else, it reshapes you. Your identity completely shifts, your energy shifts. You no longer lead with pain, but you lead with presence. That's what makes it sacred. And that's why it's so damn hard, because it requires death to something inside you so something else can finally live. Let's be real. Some of us haven't spoken to loved ones in 5 years because they voted red or blue, because they left religion, because they started an OnlyFans, because they came out as queer, maybe because they said the wrong thing during an argument, and now I can't talk to you anymore. Meanwhile, there are people out here forgiving people that have literally unalived their own children and loved ones. We live in a culture that praises people for cutting others off while mocking people who choose grace and who choose to forgive. That should tell you something. And while some grudges are petty, others are not. Some of us are holding on to pain that is very deep. A father who was physically abusive as a child to you, maybe. A mother who is extremely manipulative and controlling. A partner who cheated, lied, put their hands on you, and made you question your own worth. A trauma that is so loud it still echoes in the background of your mind some days, and you can feel it deep in your soul. Maybe you never got the apology. You never got the justice. And maybe you never will. But what if that doesn't have to define you? And then there's another kind of loss. For example, my daughter's father died almost 2 years ago from an accidental overdose. It wasn't what most people think when they hear that word. He was given fentanyl, illicitly manufactured fentanyl, and it was very deadly, and he didn't know what he was taking. Neither did the other person who used it as well. The other person who used it in a separate location almost died too, but somebody was there to give him fentanyl. The police investigated because in cases like this, if the person who distributed the drug is found, they can be charged with manslaughter. Because what happened wasn't just a tragic accident, it was the result of someone's decision. Someone deciding to give people something they did not know they were taking, and it was deadly. And someone is still out there. And as hard as this is to say, I do forgive them. Not because what they did wasn't evil, but because they're already living in a kind of hell that I will never be able to understand. A life where death follows them, where names like his are written in silence all over what they've done. And I know other people have died from exactly the same thing, with that I know that they are a serial killer, and no one can take that truth from me. Unless you've stood next to your 11-year-old son or daughter, looking down at her father or their father in a casket, heard their scream that they made, watched them try to understand what can't be understood, you don't know what forgiveness really cost. This isn't just something that happened. It's something that we wake up every day with. It's my daughter asking me at night if she'll forget her dad's voice. It's us laying in bed holding each other. It's trying to remember and forget all at once. This is our life now. This is her life. Me, her, Bo's mom, everyone who loved him, we carry it. We comfort each other now. And at first it was really rocky. Somehow we keep living. Jeff Metcalf lost his teenage son, Austin, within days. He publicly forgave the teen who unalived his son. People said he was weak, that he was brainwashed by religion. But the truth is, he was free. And most of us are not. Robert Rule forgave Gary Ridgway, the Green River killer who unalived his daughter. Ridgway had no emotion with all the other victim impact statements because they were trying to tell him to go to hell and all these things. The moment he showed real emotion was the moment that that man said, I forgive you. Mary Johnson forgave the teen who killed her son and invited him to live next door. The Amish community forgave a man who unalived 5 of their daughters the same day it happened. And me, another situation I want to give to people that I had to remind myself of, I forgave the man who trafficked, who R-worded me, who sold me, who abused me. And sometimes I ask myself, how could I? It's not because I wanted to. It was because I couldn't carry it anymore. One day I realized he was doing worse than me. Someone who tried to destroy me couldn't. I humanized the person who tried to dehumanize me, and who did. And that was where my healing began. Was really realizing how strong I am and can be. I didn't want to be like him. I didn't want to spend my life so full of hate I couldn't see the sky. I didn't want to bleed onto the people who loved me because someone else stabbed me years ago. You don't have to carry this. Whatever pain you're carrying, whatever, in America we're spiritually stuck. We see it in the reparations debate. I definitely could see it there. We see it in the racial tension. We see it in the Austin Metcalf and Carmelo Anthony case, where people are divided not by truth but by skin color. And here's the hard truth regarding reparations: some white Americans died fighting to free black slaves. Some black Americans owned slaves. We know Oprah Winfrey and Barack Obama have ties to past ancestors that owned slaves. African kingdoms sold their own people into slavery. And some of us are being told we must pay for things we never did. What if the greatest reparation we could offer is letting go? People are trapped in history, and history is trapped in them. You are not required to carry the sins of your ancestors. You are not indebted to the pain you didn't cause. Forgiveness on a personal level is hard, but on a cultural level, it could save a nation. Because anger feels powerful, doesn't it? It does, it feels good. It's like Palpatine, but it only burns the one who holds it. Not forgiving is like drinking poison and waiting for the other person to die. That's a quote. Another quote: any person capable of angering you becomes your master. I've been there. And you will be punished by your anger. You will not be punished by your anger. You will be punished by it. We're out here breaking our own hearts out of loyalty of pain. Forgiveness doesn't make you weak. It makes you free. It's not about who deserves it. It's about who refuses to carry it anymore. So I want to ask you, as a viewer, what are you still holding on to? What wound have you let become your identity? Who do you need to forgive, not for them, but so that you can breathe again? To forgive is to set a prisoner free and realize the prisoner was you all along. You don't have to keep carrying this. You don't have to become what broke you. We are not entitled to be who we were 5 minutes ago. You can choose something else. You can choose freedom. You can choose peace. And that is the kind of forgiveness that saves the forgiver. Thank you for watching this video. If you have anything you want to say or get off your chest in the comments, go ahead. And this was one that I definitely enjoyed talking about and thinking about, and that helped me to remember why I've forgiven people. And it's not Stockholm Syndrome. It's freedom. Freedom.